So I was on Twitter the other day, and I stumbled across a strange account I wrote taking instead of talking. Would probably help to proofread my own script. So I was on Twitter the other day, and stumbled across a strange account talking about needing PNG files for layers to animate. By some chance, I decided to click on their profile, probably by accident, and I found they were the dev for a program called Inochi2D. Well, that's weird. Wonder what that's all about, I wondered to myself, so I clicked the link to Inochi2D's Twitter. Turns out, it's an open source alternative to Live2D for 2D VTubers and visual novel animations and things of that nature. And I think that's pretty cool. So I may be hyping this up a bunch for something that isn't really even fully released. It's still in testing to figure out all the kinks and how to rig and stuff. It's very, very early beta. But you can go ahead and download it from GitHub and get the rigging tools and try it out along with the source code. With the current builds being for Linux. If you saw my last video, you know I'm pretty big of a fan of Linux. That was terrible phrasing, cut that. If you saw my last video, you'll know I'm a pretty big fan of Linux.
Ren! I don't use Linux, why should I care?
Well, I will tell you, random person with oddly convenient timing. Anything made on Linux is stupidly easy to port to other platforms like Windows. So even if you're not a Linux user, this would be a free tool to get the same or similar results as Live2D, which typically needs a paid subscription. Yes, I know there is a free version of it, but the full program requires a subscription to get all of the features. So there's that. And I feel like this is something that people miss when they see something like this for Linux. Yes, it's on Linux for now, but if projects like this get popular enough, they will be put on Windows. Just look at OBS, that's another open source alternative to something, and now it's become the de facto program for recording and live streaming because it's just great and it's on everything. Now, given how Inochi2D is open source and you can download it right now, there is one thing that I'm going to try, and that is I'm going to go to the GitHub right now, download the current build, and see what I can do with it. For those of you who don't know, I do use Linux on a daily basis, so I have this video being recorded on Linux right now. So we're going to switch over to that and see how it goes. Alright, so now we are over in Linux. And we are on the desktop, we are in Firefox, we're going to pull up the GitHub for this. So github.com/Inochi2D. And here it is. So we have the Inochi creator, and we have Inochi2D, and we have... I'm assuming this is related, but I'm not entirely sure what this one is. Let's actually find out what that is. Debinding to CMonoga with the additional OpenGL and SDL backends. Add to your oh, this is a resource that was used in Inochi2D. Okay. Inochi2D is a library for real-time 2D puppet animation and the reference of implementation of the Inochi2D Puppet standards. Currently, this library and the standard is in the prototype stage and is not recommended for production use. That's totally fine, we're just going to be checking it out. How will Inochi2D work? Inochi2D will expose an API for loading / saving and manipulating 2D puppets, blah 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 blah. This is all complicated code talk that no one cares to watch, even though I think it's really cool. Alright, so how do we install? How to use. Add the library to your project from the dub database. Dub add Inochi2D can be bootstrap. Oh, this is the standard itself for other people to implement it to like visual novels and such. Android and iOS are currently not supported due to the lack of OpenGL ES backend. That kind of sucks. Only requirements is hardware and software supporting some form of modern programmable hardware accelerated 3D graphics. OpenGL, Vulkan, Metal, or DirectX. Vulkan is awesome. I love Vulkan. I'm glad they are supporting Vulkan. OpenGL is always a nice fallback, but Vulkan, this is what every game and project should be using because it's on everything. DirectX is cool and all, but it's only on Windows. Vulkan is also on Linux and Mac, so it gives you a lot more options for running stuff. Okay, so here is the Inochi Creator. This, I think, is what we're actually going to download. Building on Linux, just run dub build. I don't need any dependencies? Okay, then. Let's go ahead and... Nope, that was the wrong... Okay, so we're going to right-click and copy, and we'll open a terminal, which appeared on my other monitor. Okay, and we are going to do git clone. There we go. All right, and we will cd. Oh no, wait, we're in home, so let's list all the directories. We want Inochi Creator. So cd Inochi dash creator. Here we are, and we're going to do, what was it, dub build? That it? Command dub not found. Okay, cool. Let's install this. I probably shouldn't have done that in that folder, but you know what? Fucking whatever. I don't think it actually matters. We'll be back after this installs. Okay, we've got that installed now, and now we should be able to build. Right. Selected package does not exist. Use latest matching version installed. Failed to find any version. This is why I hate building from source. Failed to find any versions for package Inochi2D referenced by Inochi Creator main. Because we have to have Inochi2D as well. I have no clue where anything is supposed to go. I'm just guessing. Do I download inside Inochi Creator? I'm gonna guess yes. I'm an idiot, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So this goes on for a hot minute. I'm an idiot. I can't figure it out. I ended up contacting the developer in order to figure out how to install it because I'm that dumb. There will be an easier way to install it once the final version is released. So for now, we're just going to cut to where I have it installed. Okay, we've got something. A window popped up, which is this. So it looks like this is the application. Again, it's not finished, but we do have an interface. You'll have two tabs, one for the rigging and one for the animation. I'm assuming that you have to put your folder with your PNG layers somewhere in the directory, and then when you load it up, it'll do something. But as it stands, this is a fairly simple looking interface right now. I'm assuming there's going to be more stuff on the sides and such. But yeah, this is the test for Inochi2D. Blah 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 blah. Inochi2D. So this is kind of cool. It's using GTK, so unfortunately it does not completely match my setup as I'm using KDE, which uses Qt. But my GTK backup theme is fairly similar. So as you can see, like the X-Bun's a little smaller and brighter red. This one, they're wider and a fainter red, but it's close enough that it's consistent enough for me. Like these colors are basically the same. So you know what, whatever. GTK is fine. But yeah, this is the first look at where it is right now. So again, it is very, very early stages. It is definitely not meant to be used yet, but potentially when it is finished or has the 1.0 release, it will be a reasonable alternative. I don't think it's going to be great out the box or anything like that. Don't get your hopes up like this. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Inochi2D is going to be, again, a free alternative to Live2D. As it stands right now, it's not usable, but it has the potential to become a very cool tool, a very useful tool. And I hope it will. I hope it can keep development. Definitely share this with people. Give it some attention. Give it support when it has a 1.0 release. If I find somewhere where you can donate to the development, I'll post that somewhere, either on my Twitter or I'll post it back in the comments on this. You can follow me on Twitter, by the way, at itsrogren. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on this project. I know I will be. If it gets far enough in development, I'm going to be trying to reanimate one of my avatars with it. I don't know which one yet. It may be this one. It may not be this one. I have no clue. But yeah, I will be keeping an eye on this, and I will make an update if this makes any significant progress. Words are hard. As it stands, Inochi2D is not yet ready to replace Live2D. But it has the potential, and that's what's important. As it is right now, it doesn't have very many features. It's really very limited in what it can do. But potentially, with time and support and people helping out and contributing to the code, it could, a couple years down the road, become as good or better than Live2D. Which is something really cool. And I think that could actually change the VTubing community in, at the very least, a small way and possibly a bigger one. This community right now has so many independent creators, and having a free option to create people's avatar will cut down the massive price barrier for 2D VTubing. If you go on something like Fiverr or look at artists on Twitters, you can easily pay like $1,000 for a 2D model, like the one I'm using right now. It's very expensive. I got lucky with this one, and I did not have to pay $1,000. However, for my other model, which you will be seeing soon as well, because I will have two of them, I am paying a couple $100s for that. And that's on the cheap side, and it probably won't be as in detail as this one. But that's just what I have to live with. I don't have a lot of money I can spend, so I have to deal with more limited options. Even though I love this type of content and making it, I'm limited in what I can do in it because of price. Having this free alternative could take a lot of that price out of the equation, because the artists and the riggers wouldn't need to charge for the price of having to pay the subscription to use Live2D. They could cut that cost out because it's a free program. You'll still have to pay them for their work, but they may be able to reduce the costs and still make the same amount of profit because they wanted to take out that subscription fee from the amount they're charging. It may not be a huge difference. It may lower the price by like $30 or so, but that's potentially enough to get more people into the medium and into this type of content, which could be really good for the community. And of course, I do need to mention some of the current drawbacks of Inochi2D. One of the biggest ones right now is that it won't support out-of-the-box Photoshop files, PSD files. The reason being that it's just a pain in the ass to program that and stuff. And so as it is right now is that you will need to export each layer of your Photoshop file as a separate PNG image. Not the end of the world, but it is kind of annoying to do. I have asked the developer, because I did respond to one of their tweets, I found out through a Discord I'm in, if they would support GIMP's XCF files, which is an open source. If you don't know, I've mentioned it in my previous video, GIMP is like an open source free Photoshop, and it has its own file system and file structure that can do layers with transparencies. They said no to that one as well. They probably won't do that either, at least not anytime soon, because they're trying to avoid spaghetti code, and that could very easily turn into a crap ton of spaghetti code, which is totally understandable, and I totally get doing that. So if you're going to make something with this, get in the habit of going ahead and exporting your layers as separate PNG files. Just store them in like a folder and organize them as you see fit, and then just throw each of the files in there. So what's the point of this video? Why am I bringing up a program that's not ready to be used? Because it needs support. Development of these things is only able to happen with a large amount of interest and or financial support. Currently, I can't find anything about donations to this project, so interest and support is really all that we can give it at the moment. So this is a bold-faced lie. Turns out, there is a place you can donate and such. I will have it linked below. It's actually on the GitHub. I'm just an idiot. And I hope you guys care about it enough as I do, because to me, this is so cool. I cannot stress that enough. This is so cool. The fact that we can have a free open source alternative to the program that the professional HoloLive VTubers are using is insane, and I think it's awesome. And once this thing is fully released, I'm gonna look into having this model or my other model, whichever one, reanimated with Inochi2D, which hopefully will be amazing and awesome, and I'm so excited about it. So hopefully that can happen soon. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoy it, you can go ahead and click subscribe and hit the like button. Hit that bell to get notified of when I post new content. I'm going to be aiming for a new video every 2 weeks or so. I can't guarantee that will be it because I do have a lot of other stuff I'm doing, but that is the goal. So try to expect that. Try to keep me accountable. Try to keep me pumping these things out. Until next time, I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.